This is editing Mark. I put on my NASA astronaut hoodie to do this. Stay tuned to the end of this video for Mark's honest review of Space Adventure. Hi, Mark from Mark's Side Projects, Carnival Adventure. Today, I'm in Chelsea, Massachusetts, right outside of Boston, at the national tour of Space Adventure. It seems to be in an old warehouse or a big box store. I don't know what it is. But the rest of this place is a shopping mall. And easy to get to, free parking. And let's go see Space Adventure.
Choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11.
It's a sleeping bag. A space sleeping bag. Mercury for the Mercury program. Gemini 4. Space underwear. Water-cooled underwear. I think that's the basis of some of that tubing that's in my Ghostbusters uniform. Buzz Aldrin spacesuit from the moon missions.
Come on, Daddy.
It's a pretty big thing. It's a liquid cooling system heat exchanger used with the Apollo 15 thermal suits. That's pretty big. Flight suit of the Apollo missions. Spacewalk gloves.
We can get it done too in our it doesn't hurt at all. It's just a poem.
This is Neil Armstrong's casting. They got a real kick at it in this exhibit. Boots used by astronauts in the space shuttle, on the moon, in Skylab. Definitely in the moon. Space really needs a drive-through restaurant.
What's that?
Space really needs a good drive-through restaurant. The Freedom 7 capsule from the early days of the space program. Can't really see inside it. It was small though. It was really small. That's relatively bigger. That's not the final Saturn V. That must be one of the early flights. How about one of the test pilots? That is an interesting one. Used to test the effects of microgravity on the sensory organs. A Mark IV Navy helmet. Pressurized U.S. Navy suits in flights over 50,000 feet. High altitude helmet used on MiG Russian MiG fighters.
What the? That's a top film.
Yes, the top was a shield. And you go through the path, it's very hot.
Big engine. This is from the space shuttle. F-16 helmet, training helmet for space, U.S. Navy aircraft in the 50s, the hood for an electroencephalogram used on Skylab space systems missions, so they could do brain waves and check the brain waves of the astronaut. There was fewer in here. Tiles from the space shuttle. Space blanket. prototype installations in solar tile. Memory module on the Apollo. Command control computer. This is a portable communication system. Programming Apollo 1617. The intercom inside the Apollo. Everything's so big. One of the spacecraft control panels. One of the main control panels in the Apollo. It's amazing that an iPhone has more power than even the space shuttle computer had.
I don't know where Julie is. What's to find her?
Report mode.
Wow, it's like a big control panel. You want to find Auntie Julie? Yeah, lots of buttons to press. That's so cool.
This is basically a tow hook for reeling the astronauts back in the capsule. Gemini's control module. Transfer tunnel coupling block. Pretty big.
Look at where Mima is.
This is responsible for filtering carbon dioxide produced by the astronauts. I wonder if this is the thing that died that they had to replace in Apollo. Was it 14? Looks like the thing they made in the movie. Survival kit. That's a radio? Considering the bulkiness and simplicity of this technology, there's an oxygen hose. I'm amazed they made it to the moon and back. Emergency blankets. Sunglasses from the emergency kit. That's lovely. This is a notebook used by people on the space shuttle. Well, that's at least more of them. This is the countdown clock used in the mission control room, which I've been to in Houston. Alignment telescope for docking, lunar module, and command module. More rockets.
Alright, here we go, purple.
That's a control panel. The exhibit continues that way.
Welcome to the Houston Control Room. From here, all of the steps of the flight to the moon are commanded after the launch from Cape Canaveral, Missouri. I am your flight director, responsible for the mission control. You might be wondering why we have so many control desks in this room. From here, we can monitor everything from the astronauts' heartbeats to the power of the rocket engines, making sure everything is working perfectly. In addition, we can send commands to control most of the equipment and consequently can make the necessary maneuvers to reach the moon. This desk machine in front of you is originally from the Houston control room. It was used in the command of many space missions. Today, it may seem like outdated equipment, but at the time, it was the most modern in terms of computing and technology. This watch, on the other hand, was represented in many of NASA's Apollo missions. In this room, we have specialists in all of the subsystems of the rocket and spacecraft, responsible for making its fantastic effect of technology. Among these troops, one of the most important is our captain, who is responsible for making all communications with the astronauts. It is through him that we pass the instructions of the complex procedure that must be performed throughout every trip to the moon. And looking around, it may seem like there are not many people running this complex mission, but this is not true. We are just the tip of the iceberg, with more than 400,000 people working to put our men on the moon. And check this out, the Apollo program is the apex of the North American space program, and reaching the moon means taking big steps ahead of the Soviets, at a cost of more than $150 billion in current value, moving the industry forward for more than a decade. But let's go, it's launch time. You can follow the takeoff ramp and continue this fantastic journey from Cape Canaveral.
It's been sharing its cooling, getting its cooling from the external power source up to this time. We're now approaching the T-minus 1 minute mark. T-minus 1 minute, and counting. Now in the final minute of our countdown. At the 30-second mark, swing arm number 1 will retract. T-minus 55. 10, 9, ignition sequence from start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Hold on. This is the famous inspiration from TV. Well, that's the leg of the moon lander. These are all the places we landed on the moon. piece of the actual control panel and a simulation of the rest of it. Which one is this? Really small. And you're on your back. Doesn't really say which one it is. I think this is a mock-up. All the different Apollo landings and crew.
Going around it, Buzz and Neil were walking.
And of course, the gift shop. Space Adventure? More like Space MIsAdventure. You pay $30 to get in this, and there's 300 supposedly NASA artifacts. Maybe there's 10 you actually want to see, and they're not all NASA artifacts. All the rockets in there are mock-ups. There's two capsules from rockets. They're mock-ups, not real. The Boston location, the advertising shows the lunar module, a full mock-up of the lunar module. I know it's not the actual one because we left it on the moon. But I guess the Boston location didn't have enough room. So even though they show pictures of it in the ads, you just see one leg of it in the actual exhibit. No hands-on for kids except to the very, very end. After a long walk down a hallway, there's 2 folding tables with coloring for kids. In fact, I went this little girl crying because she wanted to go back to the coloring. She didn't like the exhibit. She just liked the coloring at the end. You can have your kids stay home and color, and it won't cost you as much. I really like space, hence the hoodie. I've been to NASA. I've been to the Johnson Space Center. I've taught in the same building at the Johnson Space Center to actual rocket engineers at one point in my career. And went on the full tours when I was there, and also Kennedy. And if you like space, go there. If you can never afford to go to Florida or Texas, and you could somehow get $30 and you like space, go to this. Otherwise, don't bother. Save your money and go to a real NASA facility where you'll see actual artifacts and real rockets, real full-size rockets, a full-size space shuttle. If you think differently, feel free to comment.